story.
Basically, there was a series of over a fairly lengthy period of time. There was a series of big sort of world events. The first one was the Empire Baal Taroth, which was a human empire. They made deals with a bunch of evil demons and devils and such. Some of them became the Tieflings, and they basically tried to conquer the world. Their primary opponent was the Empire of Arcosia, which is primarily a Dragonborn empire. They fought. Everybody got involved, and the demon armies lost. That was awesome. Then a little while later, a bunch of powerful necromancers, sentient like liches, sentient undead, gathered together, raised a gigantic, huge army of the dead, and went tromping across the world. Again, the heroes of the world rose up, fought them, and defeated them, and all was good. At which point, the Drow said, "Now is the time we're going to invade," and sort of basically started crushing everybody. The heroes of the world rose up and lost. And so the Drow basically conquered most of the continent that this campaign is taking place on, down to about, say, here. There's this mountain range here, which cuts off the last little bit of the southern part of the continent. In that mountain range is the last and greatest of the dwarven kingdoms, and one of the goblin holds. The Drow basically realized they'd kind of had bitten off more than they could chew at that point, and stopped because they were getting nowhere through the dwarves and the remaining of the heroes, the remaining of the free people. So they built a wall sort of right along in front of the dwarves and said, "We're done. We've conquered the rest of the world. We'll come back to this later." And so from then on, 50 years have passed, and the free peoples of the South are slowly sort of have been rebuilding their armies and recruiting heroes and such, to try to see if they could do some sort of freeing the rest of the world. The last thing the Drow did after building the wall of note is they gathered a bunch of their powerful priests and spellcasters, priestesses and wizards and such together, and cast a very, very powerful spell that imprisoned almost all of the gods, outside of basically Lolth, Tiamat, and the Raven Queen. They would have imprisoned the Raven Queen, but they decided that imprisoning Death was probably a really bad idea. For what let's call obvious reasons. If Death's imprisoned, what if people can't die? That's probably not a good plan. Make keeping our conquer stuff hard. So they saw through that one. But the big thing is with the imprisoning of Pelor, basically they managed to throw the entire world into sort of permanent twilight. There's just enough light to grow crops and stuff on the surface, so their new servants don't die of starvation. But it's a much more conducive atmosphere to the Drow themselves. At any rate, 50 years have passed since this time, and there have been a few scouting parties that have been sent to the north to try to figure out what the hell's going on. Not much is known what's going on north of the wall by the people in the south. And we have our heroes here, who are a group of individuals who are being recruited to go north and see if they can figure out what's going on now.
Except for me.
Well, yes. So yes, Canna Corbett, Dahlia Foster, Soraya Graith, and the Orc Swift have been recruited, and you are all currently actually in the mountains is where we're starting. You're starting in the dwarven capital of Crocodum. And that's where you are all currently arriving.
By the way, out of all the place names that you gave us beforehand,
Crocodum! Crocodum!
Yes, Nick?
That's my favorite out of the place names you sent us
I like
a couple days ago.
It's hard not to enjoy. Crocodum. It'd be so awesome to be from there. You'd be a Crocodumian. or a Crocodumite. You'd have to say it in a dramatic voice every time you started. So, where are you from? Crocodum. I'm just visiting my aunt in Crocodum.
So yes, you have been instructed to arrive at Crocodum by the day that you're arriving, pretty much. It is currently outdoors. It's sort of on the surface. It is currently I believe yes, it is late spring. And you are arriving at the gates. You are currently at the gates of Crocodum. You're instructed to come in there, and you will basically be taken to once you introduce yourselves to the guards, you'll be escorted to your meeting where you'll be instructed on what on earth is going on. So you all arrive at the gates of Crocodum, which are basically there's a long sort of basically an underground highway from the entrance from where's the I should list off the other cities. I was going to do that. Down here is Arcos, which is the capital of Arcosia. It's the big dragonborn city.
Oh.
Over here is Gardun, which is the capital of the Orcish kingdom. This is Southgate, which is the biggest human city. Over here is Everton, which is the biggest halfling city. Crocodum is up here in the mountains, and there's a dwarven city over here, which is Goblin City, which is currently unnamed because I forgot to name that one.
Goblintopia.
Yeah, we'll go Goblintopia for the moment, but Goblinville, but Goblin Town. There we go. I'll still Tolkien for the moment. There are towns in the north up here, which are historical towns. They are important cities back before the Drow conquered things. They may or may not still exist. Over here is Westgate, Eastgate, Northgate, and Tarathia, which is the capital of Baal Tarath. At any rate, all the cities named Gate were all major port towns or major cities at the time. They were all part of sort of an interconnected series of trade roads and such, trade routes. At any rate, you are currently walking into Crocodum. The gates are fairly impressively large. They're obviously carved out of stone. They are very well guarded by a small contingent of dwarven soldiers. Most of whom are armed. They're all armed with. While they're all armed with only one axe, they still manage to bristle with weaponry. And that is where you are currently. You are all at the gates.
And when we go up to the guards and introduce ourselves,
they should have your names, and you should be told where to go.
All right. Well, I'm gonna walk up to one of the guards then.
State your business.
Name's Kana Corbett. I have a meeting with someone.
Kana Corbett. If you got a meeting with someone, talk to the. He points back to his commander. Talk to Lieutenant Barthas over there. He'll tell you where to go. I assume everybody else sort of. So that yes.
Yeah, we're just with him.
Yeah, with tagging along.
Okay, so you all give your characters' names. You are shown over to Lieutenant Barthas, who sort of looks you all up and down and says, so you four are the ones who've been requested for the meeting. Very well, I will take you to his lordship's chambers. Follow me.
I will do just
and
that.
He leads you through the marketplace. The first thing you get through the gate is the famous and very large open market of Crocodum, where you can see traders from all over the place in the south. It's bristling with activity. There are merchant stalls left and right. You can buy pretty much anything here if you've got the cash. So yeah, you see traders from all throughout the south. There are a few goblin shopkeepers here. You see people from almost every species in the area, outside of the drow.
Fucking drow.
Who are not welcome here.
Gee, wonder why.
I'd like to see them try.
Yeah, well, you are shown.
They did.
I'd like to not see them try, in fact.
So, as they're being thrown through, Nick, you are not part of this group at the moment.
That's correct.
So what do you do?
All right. So this town that they're in, basically, oh shit. I guess in order to figure out where they're going, I have to follow them inside the town anyway.
That would seem to be appropriate. Yes.
Yeah.
You're like, I scream and call my sister for help.
So you just walk through the gates?
Yeah.
Okay. You are not challenged. It is a free city.
Okay. Well, and I guess I'm not. Well, I'm probably not going to be allowed to. I'm definitely not going to be allowed to follow after them into wherever they're meeting. But I guess that I'm going to try and follow them until they're led inside wherever, and then watch the building until they come back out.
Very well. All right. So the rest of you are led through the market district, and you're led into sort of one of the nicer parts of town. The stonework here is much more ornate and well made, and are shown to. You're shown to basically one of the more upscale taverns in Crocod. You're shown in. You are escorted into one of the back rooms, and are told to. The lieutenant tells you, "Wait here. His lordship and the rest of his company will be with you shortly." At which point he says, "And if you need anything, a serving woman will be in momentarily." With which he leaves and closes the door behind him. Nick, you can pretty much follow them pretty easily up to the tavern, and you can get into the tavern pretty easily. But you're guessing you probably can't get into the room.
Yeah.
Is the door locked?
He comes in a barmaid outfit. Drinks for anybody?
It's me.
If he wants to try that, he's more than
I
welcome.
don't think so. That sounds like a pretty awful idea, Chris.
So is the door locked?
You try the door handle?
I tried the door handle.
It does not seem to be locked.
Alrighty.
It's just
Trying
closed.
to leave?
No, I don't know. Just making sure it's not locked.
From
Unless
the
anyone wants to be trapped.
outside.
What? Is it a shut-in? Is a shut-in? There's an hour of fun for just us.
I don't know what these types could be doing. All right.
About a couple minutes later, the door opens and in walks a female dwarf. She walks in and says, "Greetings, you all. I'm here to take your orders if you have anything. Anything you like, if you'd like anything.
Compliment her beard.
Water?
Who said that?
You'd like water? Very well, sir. Very well, ma'am.
Nothing for me.
Just ale. Anything. Ale. Mostly ale.
I'm fine. I'd rather just get on with what we've been sent here to do.
Very well." With which she ducks back out.
Did the guy the lieutenant, say how long this person was going to be?
He said they'd be with you momentarily.
Momentarily. Okay then.
Nick,
Yes.
after the barmaid after the serving woman leaves the room, you see a group walking downstairs from an upstairs room in the tavern. You see a very well dressed dwarf and walking alongside a pair of a human who is dressed in fairly heavy armor with a greatsword sort of slung over his back, who sort of carries himself as sort of a fairly well. He sort of carries himself much like some of the knights you've seen over the years.
Okay.
He's clearly a noble of some sort, and also an orcish soldier of some sort. It looks like if you've seen any of the orcs, if you've seen orcish soldiers before, it's clear he's clearly an officer. But
So this group is coming from upstairs, you said?
yep, they're coming from upstairs and seem to be heading towards the door to the room your sister and her companions went into.
All right. Well, what I'd like to do is, if they head inside, I'm going to wait until they're all the way inside before walking in the same direction.
Okay. Well, the door opens, and in walks, much what I just described to Nick there, a dwarven noble, a human knight, and an orcish soldier.
Okay.
The dwarf sort of gestures to the you notice that there were three empty chairs in the room. I forgot to mention that. The dwarf takes the seat at the head of the table, and he's flanked by the other two. And he sort of says, "Please be seated." I am Lord Brith the Wormslayer. I forgot to mention this. The Dwarvish King's last name is Wormslayer. He's Eric Wormslayer. Is the king of the dwarves. So this guy is clearly related to the king in some way. I'm Lord Brith Wormslayer. Joining me at the moment is my good friend Sir Lauren Edrin, gesturing to the human, and General Garduz who are both here in sort of assisting us with a couple of situations we have. We brought you all here to ask you for some help, and as you know, we've been gathering. As you may have heard, we've been gathering some people to. We've been gathering individuals of certain talents to head north of the wall and see if they can find out what's going on in the lands the Drow conquered 50 years ago. Since we've heard nothing from the Drow since they built the wall and cast that horrible spell, we're not entirely sure what's going on. And we've had very little information come back from the people we sent over the wall. So, specifically, approximately a month ago, one of the best, I suppose you could say, agents that we've had, who brought back some information when she'd gone over before. A woman by the name of Glissa. She's an Eladrin woman of no small skill. He smiles sort of amusedly when he says that. She went over about a month ago, and we were expecting to hear back from her last week, but we've heard nothing from her. Now, it may just be that she's investigating things more thoroughly, but we are beginning to get a little bit worried. So we figured we'd get another group together and send them north to find out what's going on with her. More specifically, we were hoping she'd be back in time so that we'd be able to give you, since we're hiring you to do this anyways, some information, but she's not back yet. So we're hoping that you'd be willing to go north, find out what you can about what's going on out there, and if you can find Glissa, make sure she gets back to us all right. Nick.
Yes.
Would you like to? You said you wanted to move up towards the door.
Yeah, I was hoping that I could try and make a perception check to try and listen through it.
Absolutely.
All right. Ah, onion rings.
Oh, the bar is somewhat loud, and it's a good thick door, so you don't really actually, hear much of anything.
It's always worked in the stories. Derek kind of scuffs his foot and walks away in frustration. It goes back to just kind of watching the door from a distance away.
At which point, Lord Britt says, "So, would you be interested and willing to help us?"
If it means getting over the wall, absolutely.
Well, I didn't come all this way just to turn back now.
I don't mean to sound impetuous here, but if you sent one of your best people out there, and probably have been doing for the past few years, what makes you think that we are the people to conquer it? To come back with the information, to come back with one of your agents?
The three of them sort of look at each other. At which point, Sir Lauren sort of says, "Well, for a couple of reasons. The first is most of the time we haven't sent groups over. We've mostly sent individual agents over the wall to see if we can find to try to send small either individual agents or groups of two to try to sort of keep their profile a bit lower so that they'd be less likely to be spotted. So we figured sending a group might increase their odds of finding things out and such. Additionally, he says, "I'm not entirely sure how much credence to give it." To which you hear a snort from the orc, and he says, "Of course it's worth credence. She's one of the best seers we have." Sir Lauren sort of shrugs and says, "Well, General Garduz's sister is a shaman and something of an oracle, and well, according to her, we were guided to you by we chose you because there were signs tied into. She basically did a large divination, and there were signs that indicated that you people would be the ones to send, at least through interpretation. I'm not sure how much credence to I give myself, but General Garduz it's his sister, and she's given nothing but good advice to him over the years, and you all come highly recommended for various reasons, anyways. So.
Well, I must say, Astral Lottery it's the first time that I've got a job for those means, but whatever.
Any other questions? Anything else we can help you with?
This divination, was the Oracle working under the orders of some god, or using some god's power for this, or?
Not as such. General Garduz says, we've of course had no real luck contacting any of the gods other than her ladyship, the Queen of Winter, the Raven Queen. But she, as I said, she is a shaman. She is in touch with the primal spirits. They've given her good advice in the past.
All right. Well, I guess if the trees say it's up to us, it's up to us.
Well, I'm glad you are all willing to help. Again, Sir Lauren says, again, I'm not entirely certain exactly how accurate these spirits are, but we were led to you, and as I said, all of you have recommendations from some people that you've interacted with. So we are more than all of you have skills that we from what we understand, which will be of use. So if there's nothing else, we can give you some directions on how to get to the wall and possibly how to get over. We have gotten some information on that.
I don't have any questions.
Anything else? Excellent.
I'm good with that.
All right. So with that, Lord Brith reaches into his knapsack. It reaches into a satchel he had with him and pulls out a rolled up map, basically, and rolls it out onto the table. And it's a map of the sort of rough map of the tunnels under the mountains. At about this time, the barmaid comes walking up. You hear a knock on the door, and the barmaid comes in with some drinks. For the ones that you got, those you ordered a drink, get your drinks, and there are drinks that are served to all three of the people who are there. The three who joined you.
Okay. I'm actually just going to leave mine sit there for a moment. I'm more focused on the map.
All right. So after the barmaid leaves, she closes the door behind her and goes. Lord Brith goes back and says, "All right. So the success we've had is, from what we understand, and from when we're talking to some of our goblin allies, there's an abandoned tunnel over here." He sort of sketches out over on the map. It's an old abandoned mine shaft, which leads out towards. It actually emerges onto the surface on the other side, on the sort of northern side of the mountain range, an area that's not easily spotted from the wall. It's got good cover, good natural cover there. We don't have a lot of details on these mine shafts per se, but we've got a rough map, sort of rough map direction over here. So he basically sort of sketches out quickly, sort of on the map, the directions that you would have to follow in order to get there. He says basically there's the abandoned mine tunnels run down here. There is down over here. He points off to this is the sort of northwest of the map. There is what used to be a temple to Moradin ages ago that fell into ruin. It was sacked. This is sort of near the exit out. It was sacked during the route the War of the Drow. It's as deep into the mountains as they got. It was sealed off afterwards. So that is the end point of where you're going to be going.
Now, this scout you sent earlier, this Glisha, is this the path she took to get through?
This is the path we described to her, so I believe it's the route she took.
Can we trust it then? I mean, you don't know her location. She might have been captured by the Drow and tortured to the location.
It's entirely possible. This is the best route out we know of. There is, of course, if you could, of course, take the highway directly keep directly north, and we've got a choke point there where we have some guards. You could just walk down that way, and just walk out the north gate. But that is directly into the full view of the wall. So
that's too easy to pick up a tail or somebody trying to follow us.
Those are the only real good ways out we know of. You could try exploring some of the side tunnels, if you prefer. These are the routes we know. Those are the two routes we know of out.
It's risky, but I suppose going to the path that she supposedly took is the best option.
Of course, if you want to try scouting a different route, we'd be more than and do find that and are able to get back with a map of it. That would be incredibly useful, of course.
Go look around to see if anyone else seems like they're ready to pipe up with any suggestions or anything.
I feel as though it's a ton more safe to go underground than to just walk over in plain view. It might be an exit that's scouted by them, but there's going to be many more people that can directly see the path more taken.
A tunnel is a good place to cut to spring a trap, but it's also we've got to remember the foe we're facing here, the Drow. They have control over a lot of underground minions.
Yeah.
If they know the tunnel, we could be walking straight into something we can't handle.
Or they might not be there at all, and
yeah,
we'll be wasting time. I say we take this path. It might be a little bit risky, but what's life without a little risk?
Fair enough.
I agree fully.
Oh, very well. Well, at any rate, if there's anything else you need, please let us know.
No, I guess. Is there a time you want us to leave by, or?
Honestly, whenever you can leave by is ideal. The sooner the better, obviously. If we have arranged for rooms for you here for the night, if you wish to spend the night here, of course, which will be on us. So don't worry about that.
Now, when we get over to the other side, our mission is to find Glisha. And once we find her, do you have any parameters beyond that? Are we to return her back here if she's alive? Any intel?
Primarily, your primary objective, honestly, is to head out over the wall and see if you can find what you can find out about what's actually happening on the other side of the wall. We've heard rumors from some. We've gotten some information back. Nobody's gone too far past the wall. But there are rumors that the Drow's presence on the surface seems to be less than expected. There aren't other than the troops guarding the wall. There aren't a lot of sort of Drow patrols out and about, and sort of no one's seen that much sign of large armies of Drow or anything like that. And most of these smaller settlements don't seem to be under direct rule of the Drow. So confirmation of that would be very helpful. Additionally, if you could try going to either west or east gate, if you can get that far, and see if you can find, if they're under the control, if they're still still actually cities in operation in any way, shape, or form, and who's in charge of them, and sort of any intel we can get would be useful, basically.
Okay, out of character, real quick, how far are East and West Gate from where we're coming? Like,
that's a good question.
An estimated sense.
Westgate is significantly closer.
Okay.
It's probably about. Westgate. If you basically were to go straight from where you're expecting to emerge, which would be about here, so in there, that would probably be about at least a month's journey.
A month, okay.
On foot.
Yeah.
Out of character as well. Whereabouts on the map is the wall?
The wall is basically Yes, I didn't draw it on so the wall is right about there, really.
Alrighty.
Okay. Do you guys have any intel at all on what might have happened to West or East Gate? Is there any preference to which one we look for? Or?
Yeah. Eastgate would probably be. Eastgate's not quite twice as far away. It looks like. Well, if you actually from where you're going to be emerging, it's basically twice as far away.
Okay. So you prefer us to go to Westgate?
Well, Westgate, either or. Westgate is closer, so it'd probably be a better place to start.
Okay. Now, will you be providing any provisions for this, or do we need to purchase?
We definitely will be. If you need, we can definitely make sure you can get enough provisions to bring out there. We will make sure we will deliver. We will make sure that you have enough weight to get there. Both enough, journey traveler's bread and such to get there and back.
Who do we speak to? Who do we speak to get that done?
We will actually have it delivered. When are you planning on leaving? We'll have it delivered before you leave.
What time is it now in the day, out of character?
Right now it's probably about early evening. It's coming up on
dark. All right. Well, perhaps we'll spend night and leave first thing in the morning.
Very well. We'll have the provisions brought to you by breakfast in the morning.
Okay. Thank you.
Unless there's anything else, we will be. We are also. We will. I will be heading back to the palace. I wish you all luck. If you of course. He also says. Additionally, before I forget, silly me, he reaches into his pack again and brings out a small bag. Sort of sets it on the table, and you hear a ka-chink when it hits the table. Contained in there is are 100 gold blanks. They're basically gold coins that haven't been stamped. This is basically an advance on. We of course going to pay you when you return. But we're going to give you a chunk of it just so you have some operating capital en route.
Okay.
We'll give you what. So yeah, we hope to see you again within a couple of months, or failing that, if you can send word back, that would be in some way that would also suffice.
One last question, Glycia, is that her name? Glycia. Sorry, I need to change that one. Anyway, Glycia, what direction was she headed? Was she also headed towards East or Westgate?
I believe she was headed towards Westgate.
Westgate.
How long ago did she leave?
She left about a month ago. We were expecting her back last week.
Okay.
She had. Well, she wasn't expecting to go all the way to Westgate, but she was going to be scouting up part of the route out there. So
this tunnel route, obviously, it's a hidden route. Do you know if it is used by any local creatures or anything like that?
Not that we're aware of, but I would not be surprised to find some, I wouldn't be surprised to find some, some underground underground beasties that live in there.
What sort of monsters do live in these tunnels?
Oh, people, the most dangerous thing you might run into are some Kruthic, but honestly, I would avoid a Kruthic nest if you run into a Kruthic nest, avoid it. Kruthic individually aren't very dangerous, but in large numbers, they are potentially very, very dangerous.
All right. Well, I don't have any more questions.
But of course, there's always a possibility you can run into some, like a small group of. There are always a possibility that there's a group of goblin bandits who've moved down that way, or maybe maybe a small kobold tribe that was fleeing destruction of something. I don't know. Those are all possibilities, but.
And how far from the town is this tunnel?
From where we are now.
Yeah.
The tunnel. Basically, the trip to the tunnel will probably take you only a couple hours. From what the maps indicate, it'll probably take the better part of a day or so to get through get to the other side, get out of the mountains on the other side.
Okay.
As I said, I don't have any more questions. I'm sure you've got important things to do.
Very well. He gets up. They all get up. He reaches into his pocket and he says, he basically, he says, when you return, if you do return, just come to the palace. Tell us, ask to speak to Lord Brith Wormslayer, and
Alright.
you'll be brought to me. Word will be brought to me. I wish you all luck, and thank you very much for agreeing to do this.
Thank you very
And
much
with that,
for
he
your time,
reaches
sir.
across and offers his hand to each of you, as do General Garduz and Sir Lauren.
I will shake their hands. They're military.
Yeah, I shake all those hands while saying thanks for offering the respect.
Grudgingly shake your hand.
I will also shake the orc's hand particularly hard. I want to just test his strength in return.
He actually, you get a sort of a grin out of him as you do that. He is clearly impressively strong. He's kind of he's a very, very large individual to begin with, and basically he's strong.
Okay.
But he's very careful not to actually like try to injure you or anything like that. But
Obviously.
He turns your hand into pulp.
He breaks your hand.
Oh, you
I
got
can't
new
wield
ones.
anymore.
you get the impression that if he really wanted to, ouch.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not trying to
But,
challenge him. Like,
But I figured not.
Yeah.
But he respects someone who sort of try to get a gauge of his strength.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's I shake all their hands. I guess when they leave, then I don't know if Nick wants to do something.
Yeah.
Okay.
As they walk out, Peter, I would like to. Would it be all right to use a history check to see if I can recognize any of them?
Absolutely.
15.
15. That actually tells you that you recognize the orc, definitively.
Oh.
He is actually a very, very well-known. You basically go, wait, that's General Garduz. He's one of the best generals the orcs have produced in the last 50 years.
Mm.
He's never lost a battle. Now, most of the fighting that's occurred in the south here is primarily against bandits and sort of various rogue elements and such. Like there are like it took a while for the orcs basically to consolidate their own little empire. Their people split away and such. There isn't a lot of racial. There isn't a lot of conflict between the major kingdoms down here.
Right.
But there are bandits and sort of smaller tribes and such, and occasional incursions from Nazis from the Feywild and such.
How would you spell that name?
Garduz. That would be spelled Gharduuz.
Gharduuz.
Garduz. Garduz.
Okay. How crowded is the bar?
The tavern? It's fairly crowded. I mean, there are a few tables here and there, but
okay. Actually, what I'd like to do is as the three of them are kind of making their way wherever they're going, I would like to feign stumbling through the crowd into their path.
okay.
And then I would like, basically I'm going to feign that I'm stumbling and then sort of fall in front of them.
And you want to make it not obvious you're trying to fall in front of them, is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, sure. Give me a bluff check, but it's not going to be very hard.
Well, I don't have a very high bluff, but
I know, but it's like that's funny.
okay.
Yeah, I was thinking like DC 10 at best.
Right.
At
So,
worst, so
after
you
that,
stumble in front of them.
so
They
after
stop.
that, I'm going to look up and
The
act like I'm
knight reaches
shocked.
down and offers you a hand to help you up, and he says, "Are you all right, lad?"
Yeah. What are you doing here?
All right, is that addressed to the general? Or
I'm addressing all three of them, but I'm going to make it obvious. I'm going to make it seem like I'm most surprised that Garduz is there.
All right. They all sort of look at each other, chuckle, and said, "Oh, we had a meeting with some with a group of adventurers to about potential employment." That's
Wow. So that if you're here, they must be up to something really important. Oh,
potentially.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll go. Yeah, I'll get your way now.
Oh.
And then I'm going to feel very smug about myself for having found that out.
They all sort of nod at you and they walk out. You actually hear you heard Gardu sort of chuckling about something or other with Lauren as they walk out.
Hmm.
Anything else?
No, that's about it. I'll go back to just watching the room from a distance in case they walk out to do anything.
Very well.
Back now.
So you guys, the rest of you, what are you doing?
I'm actually going to speak up and say, name's Kana. I'm a Avenger of Avandra, and if we're going to be working together, it's best if we know all of each other's talents so we can best utilize them. I'm somewhat of an assassin for Avandra. And
I'm somewhat of an assassin for anyone. Soraya Graith. Seeker, sometimes Hunter, Tracker, Trapmaster, that kind of thing.
The name is Dahlia. I use my mind, my focus.
Yep. Sorry.
And I feel the most important thing in battle is to be focused.
and you work?
I think you do it.
Just his mouth open, tongue.
Player is AFK.
Right, I'm just going to assume that he explains who he is,
Yep.
and when he does that, I'm going to take the pocket mirrors out, and I'm going to slide one over to Soraya and to Swift. And I'm going to say, you guys might be able to make some use of it. We can use it for signal calling each other if we're ever on any sort of stealth reconnaissance. And I'm also going to pull out the box of chalk, and I'm going to say, I have some chalk here. I figured we might have to go through some tunnels, and this will be good for marking our way.
You back, Sable?
Very irritating. Folks just walk in, and right when I'm about to introduce myself, knock, knock, knock.
Regardless, we just assumed you introduced yourself, and I kind of handed you one of the pocket mirrors that she has. And
I had an introduction thing, but fuck it.
you can still do it. I'm not gonna stop you.
Yeah, I know. Let me just put this.
I just didn't us all to be like, okay, well, we all just.
Swift was like digging through. During that bit of silence, Swift was actually digging through his pockets to get the speech he had prepared.
Well,
I got it right here. I got it right here.
The one and only.
Oh, Swift is so embarrassed. Hang on a second.
Yeah. Well,
'Twas 25 years ago.
Let him talk.
Okay, going.
Let him talk.
Well, just call me Swift. Is what most people are taking to calling me. I figure I've been hired on because I got a keen eye and know my way about being unseen, and know a thing or two about traps. As I believe, Soraya, you know much about them too.
Enough to avoid them.
Usually the best approach to know about them. I'll avoid them. But yeah, those are my talents, and I figured that's why they hired me, but not because of this Oracle prediction shenanigans.
I'm very wary of the Oracle.
Stupid orcish oracles. What the hell do they think they're talking about?
Fuck Oracle.
I will actually say that since, in character-wise, since Soraya heard that it's primal spirits that have been, asked or whatever they call it, that she's actually got a little bit more respect for that whole prophecy now than it's astral lottery. She has respect for any primate, earth spirits and that sort of stuff, but she doesn't trust. But she doesn't trust. She doesn't trust the godly spirits.
What, given that most of them are locked up.
Well, yeah, that too, yeah.
All right. Well, it's what? How how late is it? It's like mid-evening, you said? Late evening?
There's a knock on the door again, and the barmaid pokes her head and says, "His lordship left money for when he paid for your rooms. He paid for your meals also. So just if you'd like to order anything, I can bring you a slate with what we have, what the chef has prepared for the evening, and you can pick what you like off the menu."
Thank you very much.
I'll be right back then.
Heads up. Okay. The money he left. We could split it 4 ways and take our share, but I think it might be better to pull that money together and maybe buy some health things. There's a fancy word.
I feel like pooling it together for health things.
Yeah. There's a fancier word than potions I was trying to go for, and I should have just said potions. Health potions.
Poultices.
I would recommend not spending too much of it here, though. I mean, I've got a feeling the whole fact they gave us unmarked gold coins was the fact that we can use it when we get the other side of the wall.
That is true. Well, we can use our money and exchange it for the one here.
Yeah, use our money here and use the printless coins.
Yeah, fine. I'll trade 25 gold coins out for 25 unmarked gold coins.
Yep.
Okay.
Fair idea.
All right. If that's done, I guess if anyone needs me, I'll be staying here tonight.
I'm staying here. I don't feel much investigation is needed.
I'm gonna take a bit of a walk if that's alright with everyone else. Get some fresh air.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go find.
Sound like you need it.
So yes,
find my room again.
You guys can go out and take your walk around. That's fine.
I'm actually gonna sort of scout out the area. Sort of a force of habit with if there's an escape route that he needs to take, he's rather know about it. So he's gonna take a look around again and sort of scope out the area really.
All right.
Bit of recon.
All right, so you head out to do some recon. The barmaid returns again with the slate with the menu on it.
I'll look at the menu, I suppose.
It all looks.
I just asked the chef special for tonight.
It all looks good. You know, it's a mixture of sort of various meats that have probably been brought in from outside the mountains, because most of it doesn't. It's hard to get meat inside the mountain.
Are there prices on it?
No.
Okay, I'm just gonna pick something off of it, something meat related, and be like, let's go with that.
You get the impression this is possibly one of those places that if you have to ask how much it costs, you probably can't afford it.
Yeah, you can't afford it.
In that case, fill your boots while you're here. They're paying.
But I ask her, I'm gonna say, can you serve it in my room? Then I'm gonna be in my own room.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't know if Soraya or Dahlia are still there, but say if you are, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Then I'm gonna head to my room.
Pretty much the same for me. I'm going straight to my room, but I'll order food first.
All right, so yes, you guys order food.
I grab my food, and then when I go into my room, I lock the door from the inside if possible.
That said, when I go out, I don't know if I will notice Derek there or not, or if he's still in the...
Well, are you looking for him?
No.
Oh, it's a fairly crowded bar, so the odds are that you probably won't see him unless he's doing something to stand out. Nick?
I was actually going to ask about that because obviously Draga's whole thing is about stopping people, tracking her. Soraya, sorry. I will stop calling her Draga.
Eventually I'll forget that she's a clone.
Shut up. If he's been tracking us for a while, I was just thinking, she may have noticed.
Well, because you guys actually weren't traveling together as a group.
Yeah, I mean, once
yeah.
If you were traveling together along the road, significantly higher chance that you wouldn't notice him. But yeah, Peter. In fact, I do the opposite. I mean,
I kind of guessed.
It kind of comes out. He kind of just makes himself shorter.
I'm gonna go up to my room then and do our sort of nightly ritual of prayers.
Okay, masturbation.
So, Nick.
Yes, masturbation and prayers. And steak. Masturbation, prayers, and steak.
Otherwise, she wanted something meat related.
From Texas or something? What the hell?
No, this is completely out of character now.
She wasn't talking about food, but she ordered something meat related.
Nick, What are
up?
you doing? Now that they've left the room and
Yeah. I have to assume that if they're going into their rooms, that they're going to be staying the night.
Seems likely.
I got to figure out what I can do to just stay where I am right now, actually, because I assume if it starts getting late, they might kind of think it weird that I'm just kind of sitting around.
The kid who hasn't bought anything is still hanging out in the restaurant.
Neat thing?
Who hasn't bought anything?
Bought anything? Oh.
I thought you said
I
bought
thought you
anything.
said bought anything.
Does he have a bunch of plants around him? What the hell?
Yeah, he just like
He hasn't
Wow,
bought
ranking.
anything in days!
It's just this weird kid. He'd been sat at that table for days with a potted plant.
But he hasn't bought anything! He ain't bought anything for days.
No botany.
Hasn't bought a thing. Okay.
Anyway.
You said the place is pretty crowded, right, Peter?
Mhm.
Is there many drunkards about? Like any sort of drunk people's wandering out in the
There's
place?
some.
Nah, it's too crowded. Never mind. Once I've looked around, I'm probably just gonna head back up to the room.
Well,
So, recapping here, Swift is basically getting a lay of the land, so he has a planned escape route. Soraya and Kana went to their rooms. What was Dahlia doing, or do I?
I grabbed my food, ate it, and then went to my room and locked the door from the inside, if possible.
it is.
Good.
So basically, all four of you just gone to your rooms.
More or less. What
Okay.
about not Drycher? What about her?
Soraya.
Yes, that's the one. Even I can't remember her fucking name.
Yeah.
I believe Sarai went to a room also, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've actually just said that in the recap. And then instantly forgot.
I didn't hear that part.
Of course.
All right.
At any
Shut
rate,
up, Lolo. Shut up. I know you're gonna say something. Of course you didn't hear it.
Partially to save on cash, and partially because I thought that it would be easier to keep track of who was walking in and out of the tavern. Derek is actually going to try to avoid having to get a room there.
Okay. Well, you're able to basically sort of keep from getting chucked out for not buying anything by spending small amounts of money, but they do have stuff. They do have cheaper stuff on the menu. They do have a menu of
Moldy
not
bread and
hideously expensive
rainwater.
stuff.
Yeah.
You gets there, the kids mac and cheese. You're like, I'm an adult. And they hand you a fork shaped like a clown. You're like, okay.
Another $1 burger, please.
The kiddie meal.
I'll have a water.
Can I? So, all right, I won't give you the kids menu. What do you have to drink? Milk, please.
Do you have chocolate milk? Okay, God damn it.
Well, no,
Amphibious,
they
that's
basically
a white wine spritzer.
they basically don't have much of anything on the menu to drink other than water that isn't alcoholic. This is a dwarven bar.
Right.
Shandy Bass, which is like lemonade with 0.0. It's like the minimum alcohol content you can have.
There's a
For it
reason
to
Swift didn't order anything to drink. This is a dwarven bar.
Oh, son, what would you like to have? Another water? Really? How much bathing water do you need, boy?
Still be drunk when it was paving water.
But yeah, that's basically what the plan is.
Do I see anything of note during my after I did my wander?
Nothing particularly noteworthy. I mean, you spot a few what look like promising escape routes.
Good.
As I said, you're in one of the nicer parts of town, so
Well, always good to have a plan. And that's pretty much all I want.
you're fairly certain you can get out pretty easily.
Alrighty.
All right. Nick, it is getting on towards closing time, and the very nice dwarven waitress who's been sort of indulging you and not kicking you out
Mm-hmm.
up until now, because while it's been crowded, they haven't needed your table. So,
Right.
She sort of comes up to you and says, "Listen, hun, unless you're getting a room, we kind of need to finish sweeping up and such."
Damn it. Hmm. Are you sure I couldn't stay here tonight?
If you want to get a room, you can.
Hmm.
Hit on her, Nick.
No.
Stay in her room tonight.
He just sitting there like 15 years old, like, hey.
Oh,
He doesn't have nearly enough facial hair to impress her. What are you talking about?
No, but she does.
How much does a room cost?
Oh, well, that depends on what sort of room you want. We do have if you will want to stay in the we have a common room, which is a room where just a room with a bunch of bunks in it. That's the cheapest room. That's only a silver for the night.
Which is the closest to the front door?
She sort of blinks and looks at you. I guess the common room is kind of, because it's sort of right. She points over to the large door over there. Then she lists the other rooms, which scale up to the next level up is like 5 silvers, which is it's a small room, up to about 5 gold per night, which are the very nice rooms. They come with a free come with their own bath and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, he'll say, okay, I'll stay in the common room.
All right. She takes the silver and says, just pick out a cot that's not being used.
All right. Thanks. It's okay. It's 100 silver to a gold, right? Or is it 10 silver to a gold?
10.
10 silver. Okay.
It's 10, 100, I think.
Right. All right. I sleep holding onto my crossbow.
Snuggles.
Sleep with a crossbow.
At some point, I'm going to go downstairs just to ask the barmaid what time the shop's normally open in the morning.
All right, you poke your head downstairs. You poke the head downstairs as they're finishing sweeping up. And she goes, they usually open around 6 a.m. or so.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And she pokes her head back upstairs. She doesn't poke her head back upstairs. I'm sorry. You head back upstairs. She goes back to cleaning.
She stuck her head through a hole between the floors.
It's just like,
And then I'm like, I finished my steak, and I throw the dirty plate down the stairs.
All right. Assuming that you guys don't do anything else, the morning comes and it's nothing untoward happens in the night.
Yay!
Yay! It's always good.
Oh, so no random adventurer tries to molest Nick in his bunk?
No, actually.
ew.
No arrows in the shoulder. No
arrows in the shoulder. Nothing bad happens. You're in the nicest part of town. I mean,
This is so weird.
I know, it's so odd.
All right. The first thing in the morning, I guess I'm going to knock on the doors to see if anyone's awake. Starting with Soraya.
I'd be awake.
Yeah, I'll open up already pretty much dressed, ready to go. Put my clothes on.
Soraya, yeah, we need to spend this money while we still can. So, do you want to hit up the apothecary? Or...
Yeah, some healing potions, that sort of stuff might help. We're only going to just going through my own purse, and it's like, yeah, we're not really going to get much, but yeah, we're not going to be back here for a while, so we may as well spend up what we can.
Yeah. I'm basically only looking for one person to go with, so I'll take Soraya out to the apothecary.
Okay.
You can find your way to an apothecary. You can get directions pretty easily. There's an apothecary not too far away from where you are. He's just opened shop. He's a sort of older dwarf. He's got his beard is a bit shorter than a dwarf his age probably normally would have, Though you guess that probably has to do with the fact that he tends to work with a lot of chemicals and stuff, and having it long would probably get in the way. And his fingers have a bunch of chemical stains and such on them from, again, similar to stuff. And looks up and says, first customers today, how can I help you?
It's gonna sort of nudge Shara, be like, maybe you should take lead on this. I don't do people. I don't do people.
For money. Wait.
Unfortunately, neither do I.
The two least charismatic people.
Oh, no.
I did take the best other antisocial character, didn't I? Whoops!
No, surprise, you got 12. I'm sorry, my bad.
I've got what?
You got 12 charisma, right?
Yes, I have got +1 charisma. Yes.
Yeah, you're actually the second highest charisma in the party.
Yeah, there you go.
So bad.
Behind me in my pool.
Yeah, we're just looking to stock up on some supplies. What was it? What was his name? Barath.
Breath.
Fire. I had it written down.
Brith Wormslayer.
Wormslayer, yeah, name drop.
God, even I had it written down.
Deployed us to go over the wall, and we're here.
Oh, his lordship. Oh, so you're the ones who the lordship is hiring. Excellent.
Yes, we're here looking for supplies.
Oh, what do you need?
I'll hold my hand out and take Kanna's purse as well as my own. Put it on the table and say, "How much does this buy?"
That would depend on what you're looking to buy.
Potions of healing.
Ah, yes. I can give you a. Given that you're working for Lord Brith, I can give you a bit of a discount on those. They normally cost 50 gold each. I can sell them to you for 40 each.
I guess that's the best we're gonna get.
Yeah. How much do you have?
Well, we got 100 from him, and then I have 38 on my own, so I'll put in 20, and we can get 3.
I have 17.
That's absolutely no help at all. Not even in the slightest.
You can buy another half of one.
Anyone would have any money right now.
Well, I'm pretty much. Soraya's pretty much self-sufficient anyway, so she's basically just going to say, "Well, here, 17 gold. That's everything I have. Take it."
All right. Well, I'll put that money in my purse for some reason. I guess I'm just going to take your money. And
I meant put it towards another potion if you can.
Can't. I just math.
Okay, I'll keep it. Fine.
Yes. Okay. Well, we'll buy 3. So we'll use up the 100 gold we got from him, which is basically all of our pooled money since we traded it out for the unmarked pieces.
Yep.
And then 20 of my own gold will go towards it, and we can get 3 of them.
Okay.
Okay. 3 potions. Excellent.
3 potions of healing. So,
Thank you.
As you know how that works, you minor action to drink it. You spend a surge, gain 10 hit points.
Yep.
Sweet.
Very nice at low levels.
All right, hold on a second. +3 potions of healing and minus 20 gold. Okay.
What does this get us?
All right. Then I guess we'll go back, and when we go back to the bar, unless Soraya had anything to do,
Not with 17 gold, I haven't.
I'm going to ask the barmaiden if she's up, if the food that was supposed to be delivered to us came in.
She says there haven't been a delivery yet, but breakfast. We're working on breakfast right now, and we'll have it served in probably about 15-20 minutes.
No, the trail rations that we were supposed to get.
No one's made any deliveries yet. No, ma'am.
Do you know when they're expected to make a delivery?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay.
Do you have some sort of messenger boy? If you do, I suggest you send him out and try and find out where our supplies are. We'll stay for breakfast, but we need to get out early.
I guess we could hire a messenger. Would you like to hire a messenger to do that?
Do you not have a boy that runs your errands or something?
Yes, but he's currently running errands. Buying.
He's doing his job.
As an errand boy.
What? How much you said to hire?
Like a silver to hire a messenger. I mean, it's not that
Sure,
bad.
a silver.
Fine.
You're able to find a messenger fairly. She's able to find you a messenger very quickly, and you send him off to the castle, to the palace, and.
You just send him with a vessel.
Shortly thereafter, he says that the supplies should be arriving within the hour.
Quick enough, I suppose.
I assume the rest of us are up by this point.
Yeah, you can be up. I'm just
Yeah.
Sorry.
Time for breakfast.
Yep, breakfast is served.
God help you if there's no bacon.
Oh,
He's like, "Hun, there's nothing but bacon."
There's bacon in the meat.
That's like, it's served by the bacon golem. He delivers the bacon.
It's a
Oh my
pig. We
God,
didn't
I
even bother
can
slicing
imagine
it.
how that smells.
Bacon.
Our vegetarian salads are actually just bacon, but sliced up to look like vegetables.
We
not
just
quite that bad, but
we just throw bacon in there, cover it with bacon bits, and then drizzle some bacon cheese on. Bacon cheese.
Oh,
It's
God,
just
this is
Ferment-
the most
it's
amazing
bacon
thing.
that's been fermented.
We just liquefy bacon and dribble it all over. Like, oh god.
Knives and forks, bacon.
Except the clown one, we give to children their kids' meals. Love that clown. Okay.
so yes,
I guess
yes, Gav, there is bacon. There's also, there's breakfast is pretty much a combination of, a fairly good porridge, good bread, some cheese, then sort of a mixture of, there's bacon, sausage, mushrooms, stuff like that.
Sweet.
Derica slop.
Well, the cheap breakfast is the porridge.
Great.
Which is
They
actually
walk
pretty good.
into the room, shit in the pan, and just like eat up.
No,
The common
again,
room gets bocon.
I know they're in a nice part of town. They're not gonna get.
you're the
shit
good
in the
part.
pan.
You happen to be staying in a nice place, which means the cheap breakfast, which is another silver, Nick.
Ugh.
Here you go, love. We just cooked breakfast. Here's the grease it was cooked in.
No, the porridge is actually liquefied bacon.
And they get knockoffs. They're drinking bocon and bulk.
But yes, it's basically it's a good porridge, and you got a bit of bread and cheese with it also.
All right.
Sweet.
The rest of you guys, you got the full on breakfast,
Sweet.
which was part of the room costs. Which you
We
guys,
didn't have to pay for it. Sweet.
The porridge is just tiny pieces of bacon. Wow.
All right.
other than that, shortly as you guys are eating your breakfast, the delivery man arrives with the 2 months worth of rations for you guys.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay. I'll divvy those up.
We actually divvying those up, or are we assuming we have enough? 'Cause I really don't want to keep track of.
Basically, you can assume that you have enough to get there and back. Again, I probably won't make you keep track too much of expendables unless I think it's dramatically appropriate.
Alrighty. Fuck-minded things. Ugh. Anyway.
Much the same way that I said, as long as Gab has bought a reasonable number of arrows to begin with, I won't make him track his arrows.
I have 90.
Jesus
That's more
Christ!
reasonable.
Where are you putting them?
Okay, no, I,
50 quivers on it.
I originally bought 90. I've dropped them to 60.
I'm just thinking.
Actually, here's
Wonder
the
if
thing.
Soraya doesn't have any gold.
Interestingly enough, when you actually buy, or if you think about it, when you buy extra arrows, storing the actual when you buy the extra a bundle of 30 arrows, if you actually tie it tight and don't have it loose in the quiver, it doesn't take up very much room.
No.
So you can easily store that in your in your pack in groups of 30 if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And just have a loose quiver of 30 in your loose bundle of 30 in your quiver.
My fashionable leather quiver.
Yes.
All right.
Because
well,
Soraya is very, very obsessed with fashion, apparently.
No, just nice things.
all right. Now, I guess once we finish eating breakfast, depending on what time it is, we'll get ready to head out.
Yes.
It looks like it's probably a good time to get going.
All right. Well, let's get going then.
All right, so you all set out. Give me a perception check there, Derek.
Hang on a sec.
You lose them and never find the body again.
Derek's adventure ends here.
You can easily see where they're headed.
All right.
I assume you're going to follow?
Yeah.
All right. So you follow them. You guys get to the... Okay, Derek, I hate to say this, but give me a stealth check.
Yeah, this is where it ends.
Who's that redhead kid?
So, as you are walking through the middle of town, you get to the market district. Soraya, you notice that you're being followed by a fairly young-looking redheaded human kid with a crossbow slung over his back.
Step-headed red child.
Due to just natural, caution,
Yes.
I won't alert the party just yet. However, it's just
Actually, with that little stealth check, I think everyone notices him at this point. But
well, fair enough.
Hey, who's that kid with the red hair?
Derek?
Who?
Derek?
Oh crap!
Derek!
Oh boy!
I had to stomp over to Derek. What the hell are you doing here? Hello?
Oh shit!
Nick needs to pause before you go into this.
Okay.
He was so terrified that he needed.
Get into character, and I'm going to mute because I'm not going to be able to stop laughing. I can tell.
I just see Derek melting into the ground like, no!
Oh no, my complete lack of sneakiness.
And I will stealth into a bucket. Shit.
Form of not me!
Shape of a bucket of water.
Derek's stealth attempt equals picking up a branch and walking with it in front of his face
Somehow underground as well.
in an underground mining town.
I just imagine the entire town is just stopped in freeze frame. around
Like
this.
the end of an 80s sitcom.
Yeah.
Da, da, da. I was completely frozen there.
We're pausing.
Oh.